frontline healthcare workers today as he continues to focus on the coronavirus pandemic. Meanwhile, President Trump is at the White House. No public events planned as he continues to fight the election results. Michael George is in Wilmington, Delaware with the latest.
President-elect Joe Biden held a virtual roundtable with healthcare workers as he continues to craft a pandemic response plan without the cooperation of the Trump administration.
There's a whole lot of things that we just don't have available to us, which unless it's made available soon, we're going to be behind.
In Wisconsin, where Biden won by more than 20,000 votes, the Trump campaign has wired $3 million to fund a partial recount in the state's two largest counties.
We must complete the recount by December 1st. The recount will begin Friday.
On Twitter, President Trump attacked Georgia's recount as a joke.
I think at this point, the American people just want to make sure that every legitimate vote is counted.
Georgia election officials say they're in good shape to finish the audit by the Wednesday night deadline.
By noon tomorrow is our goal to have the information, the audit report out to everyone.
President Trump fired his top election security official, Chris Krebs, after Krebs pushed back against claims of widespread voter fraud. A Biden team spokesman said Krebs was, quote, fired for telling the truth.
He's always seemed very capable and knowledgeable to me. Having said that, any president, is entitled to surround himself with advisors of his choice.
Krebs served as DHS Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director. He told CBS News in a phone call that he expected to be fired and he has no regrets. Michael George, CBS News, Wilmington, Delaware.
Meanwhile, Montana's newly elected lawmakers converge in Helena to choose their leaders for the upcoming session. And majority Republicans say they're excited about their first chance in 16 years to work in tandem with a Republican governor. But the meetings at the Capitol today were not without some controversy. MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison has the story.
As Republicans chose their 2021 legislative leaders Wednesday, the new Senate Majority Leader, Carrie Smith of Billings, expressed the optimism and excitement that many of them felt.
I am so excited about this legislative session. This is the first opportunity many of us have to work with a Republican governor. It's up to us. We hold all the offices. We hold the leadership. We hold the majorities. And so it's up to us now, as the people of Montana have sent us here, to take and get some good work done.
And the new Speaker of the Montana House, rancher and state representative Wiley Galt of Martinsdale, said the GOP majorities are ready to carry out the priorities of incoming Republican Governor Greg Gianforte.
We're going to be a united front. We have a Republican governor that we're going to rally behind, and I think the Republican Party is going to move as a block this session.
Republicans have a 67-33 majority in the House and a 31-19 majority in the state Senate. Senator Mark Blaisdell of Kalispell was chosen as the Republican president of the Senate, and House Republicans chose Billings Representative Sue Vinton as majority leader, the first female Republican House majority leader in Montana history. Democrats said they'll try to work with Republicans on many issues, but they weren't happy with how most GOP members completely ignored public health protocols at their Capitol meetings. In both the House and Senate Republican caucuses held on the Senate and House floors, almost no members wore face masks, which are required of the public in the Capitol. And social distancing seemed largely non-existent as GOP members shook hands and frequently spoke with each other, maskless, in close proximity. On Wednesday, Montana saw more than 1,200 new cases of COVID-19 reported, continuing a huge surge in recent weeks of the spread of the coronavirus across the state. House Minority Leader Kim Abbott of Helena said Democrats won't be participating if such actions continue by GOP members at the Capitol.
What I saw on video of the House chambers today was reckless. And we cannot participate in that kind of recklessness.
Representative Galt said he's willing to talk to Abbott and Democrats about their concerns, but that he may not be able to stop GOP members from doing what they choose to do on the floor or perhaps elsewhere.
I can suggest, but we cannot stop anyone for any reason going onto the House floor and doing what the state elected them to do.
Republicans hold all the political cards in driving the agenda at the 2021 session. But now the hard work begins, deciding just what a session will look like in the midst of a pandemic. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The session is scheduled to convene in Helena on January 4th. County health authorities across Montana confirming 10 more COVID-19 related deaths today. That's a total of 29 in just the last 2 days. Two of the victims from Yellowstone County, one of those a man in his 30s. MTN reports the total number of deaths across Montana related to COVID-19 has now reached 582, and there are nearly 18,000 confirmed active cases right now. There has been some positive news lately when it comes to a possible vaccine for COVID-19, and one of Montana's U.S. senators is taking part in one of the trials. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has more.
On Wednesday afternoon, U.S. Senator Steve Daines announced he was one of many Montanans participating in Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine trial. This comes just days after Pfizer's announcement of the vaccine being 95% effective. And Senator Daines says he's tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies. Senator Daines says it was his mother who encouraged him to join Pfizer's vaccine trial taking place in Bozeman.
My wife and I decided to go online and enroll in the trial, and we joined over 100 Montanans, many from the area there in southwest Montana, who were participating in that particular trial.
The trial is blind, meaning the senator and other participants were not told if they received the vaccine or a placebo.
I have since tested positive for the COVID-19 antibodies, which likely means I actually got the actual vaccine.
Daines testing positive for antibodies could mean he's protected against COVID-19 if exposed to the virus. Daines said he chose to participate in the trial to help Montanans build confidence and trust in a vaccine. Daines also added, while highly encouraged, vaccines shouldn't be mandated.
While I do believe that a vaccine is key to getting back to normal, I don't believe in mandating it. I would, however, encourage Montanans to get the vaccine once it's approved, in consultation, of course, with their doctor.
Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Well, after nearly 8 years in the making, the state of Montana has ruled that contaminated coal ash from retired Colstrip power plants 1 and 2 will be dug up and hauled away to a high, dry, environmentally safe location. Environmental groups are pleased with Tuesday's ruling from the Department of Environmental Quality. They see that decision as an immediate job creator, resulting in as many as 150 high-paying jobs for years to come. However, the timing of Tuesday's ruling may leave the final decision on the coal ash cleanup to the new administration of Governor-elect Greg Gianforte. The leaking contaminants are harmful to humans, livestock, and wildlife. The DEQ decision calls for the full excavation of the 330-acre site and relocating the ash to a new lined impoundment above the water table. The cost, an estimated $285 million to be paid up front by Colstrip operator Tellon Energy. A Tellon spokesperson says the company has not decided if it will appeal the state's decision, but it does have 30 days to do so. The Billings Police Department is seeking the public's help in finding a missing runaway girl who may possibly be in danger. Police say that 14-year-old Alicia Silva left her home around 5:30 tonight, threatening self-harm. Silva is Hispanic. She's 5 feet 3 inches tall. If you've got any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to contact Billings Police. That number is 657-8460. And now turning to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. All quiet here for now, Bob, but the threat board's kind of filling up in other parts of the state.
Yeah, we've got some snow in parts of western Montana. Let me show you what's happening on there. We go right to the threat board, and as you can see, we have winter weather advisories basically all around Billings, but nothing here, and I'm okay with that. But take a look. Let's start up there in the Rocky Mountain front up there northwest of Great Falls. We got 3 to 7 inches of snow expected up there through Thursday. Meanwhile, in the western part of the state, basically from Idaho all the way up towards Missoula, we're looking at 2 to 4 inches, maybe 2 to 7 inches. But the thing that I'm really worried about is up there by Glasgow. We're expecting only 1 inch of snow, but 1/10 of an inch of ice. That's going to be underneath that snow, so that's going to be very, very icy, very slick, kind of what happened here in the Billings area not too long ago. Doppler radar shows you the snow already making its way from Missoula to Great Falls to Bozeman. Scattered light rain showers around eastern Montana as well. But back here at home, even though we had some snow showers in the Beartooth, they have kind of fallen apart, and so the downsloping winds off the mountains are inhibiting the rain and snowfall development here in the Billings area. So we're not expecting too much tonight, just maybe some scattered showers maybe tomorrow morning. We'll have more about that in a few more minutes. Russ?
Thank you, Bob. Skiers are chomping at the bit to get back out on the slopes for the new season. The crew at Red Lodge Mountain is implementing a host of new procedures to try and keep it open for the whole season. Q2's Mitch Legge tells us more.
Ski season is just about here. Staff at Red Lodge Mountain have been working to have the resort open on the day after Thanksgiving. Skiers' dreams were dashed a little bit last year after the resort had to close early due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, people should know as they're packing up their cars to head to the mountain next year, that things will look a bit different, but the turns will be just as much fun.
It's such an outdoor activity. The skiing itself, once you're out on the hill and you're ready to make your turns, is pretty distance and safe. The challenge is just everything leading up to that.
Ski lodges, rental shops, ticket counters, and food lines all serve as choke points to bottle people in close proximity. To better space people out, capacity inside all of the lodges on the mountain will be reduced by 40%. The main lodge and beer stube will only be open to people who are purchasing food or drink. No sack lunches will be allowed inside, or family members just looking to watch others ski.
One of the initiatives this year is My Lodge is My Car, and we're definitely encouraging people to come prepared, to get dressed at their car, to go there for breaks, to potentially do meals there, and get warm. Unfortunately, that's just kind of where we're at.
When it comes to lift tickets, people who have unused 6 or 3 TIX passes from last year will have their unused days roll over to this season. But those old pass days must be used before they expire on Christmas. Prices aren't yet available for single-day tickets, but management will limit the total amount of physical tickets sold on the mountain to allow pass holders the most opportunity to ski. If people know the day they want to come up, Weimar suggested that people use the online ticket ordering system in advance to make absolutely sure they'll have a ticket before they make the drive to Red Lodge. New rules mentioned here just scratch the surface of COVID-19 protocols at Red Lodge for the year. To learn more, find this story on KTBQ.com. Reporting in Billings, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
All right, thank you, Mitch. And Red Lodge Management says it's up to all the patrons to follow the rules to ensure the hill can operate for the full season. Billings Logan International Airport expecting an uptick in travelers this coming Thanksgiving week. Director of Aviation Kevin Plone says that's good news for the industry.
Like on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we could be pushing close to 1,000 passengers each day. Typically, we've had some Thanksgivings where we've hit close to 2,000 passengers, but given how everything else has been this year, we'll take 1,000 passengers in a day any day. Most people have been traveling by car lately, and sometimes when you travel by car, you're not so worried about what's in your suitcase or in your travel bag. There's been a substantial number of guns being detected at screening points because people forgot that they went someplace and didn't pull their guns out. That's a no-no in the airport world.
Plone says if you haven't flown in a while, most of the same rules apply. Here's a few reminders. Of course, wear your mask and socially distance while in the terminal. And any food that you're carrying on board should be in a see-through Ziploc bag. Leave yourself at least 90 minutes before your flight to get through security, get to your gate. The airport is undergoing construction, and there are new security scanners that do take a little longer. And some good news about Turkey Tuesday that took place yesterday here at the Q2 studios. Our Q2 viewers coming through big time, donating 2,090 turkeys, 5,200 pounds of non-perishable food, nearly $46,000 in cash to the Billings Food Bank. You also dropped off 8 boxes of toys, 5 bikes, and more than $500 in cash for Toys for Tots. So well done, Billings and Yellowstone County, certainly stepping up to help others celebrate the holidays, and we thank all of you. Still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, we're going to head to Big Fork, where we'll meet a Kalispell family that has turned its dreams into a reality with a new cider business. Our Montana Ag Report is coming up next. Then a little later in sports, friends become enemies, at least for this Friday, as one former Sentinel player now looks to lead West to the state title.